Thank you very much for joining, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam to you and all the assembled devotees, all Guru Srila Prabhupada, all Guru Srila Gurudev. This is Lalitangi Radha Devi Dasi.
Hare Krishna Lalitanga. Hare Krishna Lalitanga Devi Dasi Mataji. Dandavat Pranam. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. All glories to Guru Maharaj. Thank you very much for joining, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble presence of Priest Maurice Gulad. This is Satki Devdasi from Mauriceville MC. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Dandavat Pranam. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. All glories to Guru Maharaj. Thank you very much for joining, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Dandavat Pranam. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is Revati from Atlanta, Mataji.
Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Maharaj. Thank you very much for joining the call, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai. This is Vinaya from Houston.
Hare Krishna Vinaya Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. All glories to Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Maharaj. Thank you very much for joining, Prabhuji, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
The recording has started.
Is there anybody else who would like to introduce themselves? So today's class will be given by His Grace Kamal Lochan Das Prabhuji, on the topic of Srimad Bhagavatam, 4:13th, chapter 4, 13th and 10, 4.13.10. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, are you present on the call?
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Prabhuji. Dandavat Pranam.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Derim Saraswati Vyasam Tato Jayamudire Nashtaprayesha Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 13, verse number 10. Jada, Andha, Badira, Unmata, Mukha, Akritihi, Atat, Matihi, Lakshitaha, Patihi, Pati, Pradhanam, Prashanta, Archihi, Iva, Analaha, Jadandavadironmatta, Musakriter, Namatihi, Lakshita, Patirpalanam, Prasantarchirivar, Divanalaha, Jadandavadironmatta, Musakritirantamatihi, Lakshita, Patirpalanam, Prasantar Richihi Ivanadaha. Jada, foolish. Anda, blind. Badira, deaf. Unmatta, mad. Muka, dumb. Akritihi, appearance. Atar, not like that. Matihi, his intelligence. Lakshitaha, he was seen. Pati, on the road. Balanam, by less intelligent. Prashanta, calm. Archi, with flames. Utkalaha, fire. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Utkala appeared to be less intelligent person on the road to be foolish, blind, dumb, deaf, and mad. Although actually he was not so. He remained like fire covered with ashes, without blazing flames. In order to avoid contradiction, botheration, and unfavorable situations created by the illicit person, a great saintly person like Jadabharata or Utkala remains silent. The less intelligent considers such saintly persons to be mad, deaf, and dumb. Actually, an advanced devotee avoids speaking to persons who are not in devotional life. But to those who are in devotional life, he speaks intention, and he speaks to the innocent for their enlightenment. For all practical purposes, the whole world is full of non-devotees. And so one and so one kind of very advanced devotee is called Ajananand. Those who are mostly anandi, however, teach to increase the number of devotees. But even such teachers also avoid opposing the limits who are unfavorably disposed towards spiritual life. Samadhyanvirandasya Jnanjanashalakaya Yachurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manovistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamaham Dadati Sva Padamita Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Uta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsya Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagna Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parjana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Shri Radha Krishna Padan Saganadita Shishatanvitamsya Hey Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandha Jagatpate Gopesh Gopika Kant Radha Namaste Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriya Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyeva Cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktavriya Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. So we're in the fourth canto, 13th chapter, and in the previous chapter we have discussed about Dhruva Maharaj going back to Godhead. Pratyaksha means people could see that a devotee, by performance of devotional service, he has conquered the modes of nature. He has conquered the laws of nature, that is, birth, death, old age, and disease. No more birth, no more old age, no more disease, no more death. And that is called Vijaya. So that is called Jayanti. So Jayanti means conquer. So what we are supposed to conquer after taking human birth? Conquer kingdoms, conquer money, conquer some posts? No. Conquering the modes of nature, conquering the laws of nature, conquering birth, death, old age, and disease. That is called Jayanti. So here we find Dhruva Maharaj, he has conquered the modes of nature. He went back to Godhead. Now, in the previous chapter, there was a discussion in which Narada spoke about this character of Dhruva Maharaj, spoke about the glory of Dhruva Maharaj at the sacrifice of the Prachetas, the sacrificial ceremony of the Prachetas. So in the previous chapter, 40th verse, it is described that Narada is glorifying his own disciple Dhruva Maharaj. It is a great fortune that being glorified by the spiritual master, though the disciple should not hear the glories of his own self by the spiritual master, but that is the perfection of the disciple. Perfectional disciple is the spiritual master becomes so proud of the disciple. How great is my disciple? Just see, hear his glories. When your spiritual master sings your glories in front of thousands of people, especially Narada glorified Dhruva Maharaj in the in the in the Sabha of the Pachetas. So then they asked about the Pachetas. I want to know about the Pachetas. Narada is a great devotee, and he is not an ordinary personality. He is a personality who spoke the Pancharatra scriptures. And Pachetas are great devotees of the Lord. They worship the Supreme Lord. And we come to know Prachetas are described in the pastime after Ritu Maharaj. Right? In the fourth canto, there are four pastimes. First one is of Daksha, Lord Shiva that we know. And then the second is Dhruva Maharaj. And third one is about Ritu Maharaj. The fourth one is about the Prachetas. So four pastimes are described in the fourth chapter to describe the four kinds of devotional service. Devotional service in mode of ignorance, Daksha. Devotional service in mode of passion by Dhruva Maharaj. That is, he wanted to conquer the entire earth, he wanted to become the king of the entire world. Such a kingdom which even Brahma doesn't have. That kind of kingdom he wanted. So with that pretext, he went to worship the Lord, the devotional service in mode of passion. Ultimately, Dhruva Maharaj went on back to Godhead. That is the thing. Third one is devotional service in mode of goodness, as described in the pastime of Ritu Maharaj. And now in Ritu Maharaj is to be discussed. But before Ritu Maharaj discussed, the descendants of Dhruva are discussed. And Prachetas are the main subject matter for the fourth canto, because Prachetas are depicting the past, depicting devotional service in pure goodness, transcendental goodness. The discussion between the Prachetas and Lord Shiva, which is going to come in the later part of the fourth canto. Now, at present, Ritu Maharaj is supposed to be discussed. But the question is not about Ritu Maharaj. The question is about Prachetas. I want to know about the Prachetas who came in the dynasty of Dhruva Maharaj. Say, Vidura says to Maitreya that I am very eager to hear about the topics of the Lord. And Narada spoke about these topics. And I want to hear about these topics because the topics concerning the dynasty of great kings, dynasty of Dhruva Maharaj is very interesting. Uttanapada, Dhruva Maharaj, I want to know. Now, Maitreya, he starts describing about the son of Dhruva Maharaj, that is Utkala. Utkala, the son of Dhruva Maharaj, and by very birth only, he had no desire for the wealth, he had no desire for being the king, he had no desire for anything material. You see, birth. Birth is a very, very important aspect, because being born in a devotee family is not an ordinary thing. In the 6th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna clearly asks this question. And dear Lord, when you will say that I have to perform this yoga practice, it's a very long process. What is going to happen to a person who is not doing that, who is not accomplishing perfection in yoga in this life? Then Krishna says, in reply to Arjuna, he says, don't worry. Uchinam Shivatam Gehe Yoga Prishto Vijayate. When a person who is very advanced in yoga, when he is not able to complete for some reason or so, then he takes birth in a Brahmin family. And when somebody is not very much advanced in yoga, but still he gives up the practice of yoga, he is yoga rurukshaha, then in the next life he will take birth in a Vaishya family or aristocratic family. Then in the purport, Srila Prabhupada says very interestingly that I myself and my spiritual master had the great fortune of being born in a very devoted family, very religious and very pious family. So being born in great families is not an ordinary thing. When a living entity has performed some kind of devotional practices, and some kind of spirituality in the previous lives, then only you get the opportunity to be born in a Brahmin family. Kuchiram Deve. Because when you're born in a Brahmin family, there is a natural attraction for the scriptures. There is a natural attraction for performing tapasya. So these two are very significantly found in those people who are born in Brahmin family, or those who are born in a very aristocratic family, kingly family, devoted family. They don't have to much worry about the means of livelihood. They can spend more time in pursuit of spiritual life, in pursuit of the goal of life. That is why being born in these families is a very special boon. But after being born in such families, if somebody is not able to take complete advantage of being born in such families, it is like you are born as a millionaire and you have millions and millions of dollars in the bank. By birth itself, you are a millionaire, but you have forgotten your bank account. You don't know which bank it is, what is the bank account. But you are a millionaire, but you have forgotten it. That you are not taking advantage of it. You are not able to take advantage of the entire of the great fortune. So it is not just being fortunate, but to take advantage of the fortune, that is important. So here we find Utkala. He is the son of Dhruva Maharaj, and he took complete advantage of his father's experience. What was his father's experience? After winning the big kingdom, ultimately he had a big war with the Yakshas. And ultimately what Dhruva Maharaj had to do, he had to go back home, back to Godhead. Then his son, he thought, why do all the hangama to go back home, back to Godhead? Fight, do tapasya, get a big kingdom, fight with the army, with the enemies, and protect the citizens, do all these things, and ultimately go back home, back there. Why not now? Why to be so interested? So whatever father's realization was there, after doing so much of tapasya, his son Utkala had it by birth. So it is very, very important to consider one's birth as a great fortune. Like, as soon as somebody is born to a millionaire, he also becomes a millionaire. It is fortune. The same way, as soon as somebody is born in a devotee's family, as soon as somebody is born in a family where they are very learned people, he is fortunate. The point is, one has to take advantage of the fortune. Everybody wants to be fortunate, but more important is not just being fortunate, but to take advantage of the fortune. So what is lacking in the present day Indians is that they are very fortunate to be born in the land of India, to be born in very exalted families, but they became oblivious of their own fortune. They become completely negligent of their fortune and see somebody else's life, some other place, or some other situation to be greater fortune than the fortune they had by birth. And it's very unfortunate for people who are born in Brahmin families. They think, no, I need to earn $1 million so that I can be happy. But they don't find, they don't see that I have been born in such a great family, in this great land, where there is so much of great culture. Now, just for a few dollars, we think that these dollars are better than my great spiritual heritage. So, fortunate, at the same time, unfortunate. Actually, being unfortunate is not a problem. But being negligent of the fortune what we have, it is a greater problem. Like, if we give a diamond in the hands of a blind man, what will we do? He will only use it for, he will only think it is a stone. So he'll throw it in some place, oh, it's a stone, what is the use of it? He is a blind man. So to recognize our fortune, the fortune in our birth, fortune as being born in Bharata Desha, that has to be there. Because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he said, Bharata Bhumite Janma Hoite Jar Janma Sartak Kari Karo Parapagad. So some people say, birth is not at all a consideration. But in all the scriptures, especially that particular paragraph, where Srila Prabhupada says we are very fortunate to be born in the families of the devotees. I myself and my spiritual master, Srila Bhaktivedanta Thakur, we are born in great families. Srila Prabhupada talks about in Suchinam Srimatam Dehe in the purport. So some people have this thing that birth is not a consideration. No, it is a consideration. If that is not a consideration, then why would Chaitanya Mahaprabhu say, Partha Bhumite Janma Hoite Jar Janma Sartak Puri Karo Parabhakar? Why use the word Bharata? Because for those people who are born in Bharata, it is a great fortune because by birth their blood naturally is inclined to spirituality. Somehow, because of the bad association, we become oblivious. We become blind towards it. That is a more unfortunate. Having fortune and on top of it fortune, we are unfortunate. So just see, being born in a great devotee family, the benefit of it is this. That Maitra is saying to Vidura, oh Vidura, I want to speak about Utkala, who is actually son of Dhruva. And by birth itself, he says, Saha Janmano Prashantaha. Janmano Prashantaha. By birth itself, he was very peaceful. At the same time, Nisangaha, Samadarshanaha. Just see the qualities. Even in the 16th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna clearly says that Daivi and Asuri qualities are by birth. Of course, later on by association, you may develop divine qualities, that is a different thing. But by birth, somebody has got certain qualities. Those who are born to pious parents, naturally they'll be having some piety. Of course, in the same chapter further we find that Anga was a great king, very pious king. But his son became Vena, who was very horrible. Of course, the reason is described there because the qualities of the mother is transformed to the son and qualities of the father is transformed to the daughter. It so happened though Anga was a pious king, his wife was not so pious. And his wife's father was not very pious. So his wife's father qualities were transferred to Anga's wife, and Anga's wife qualities were transferred to Anga's son, that is Vena. That is why he became a big dushta. Of course, this is very natural to happen like that. But at the same time, just imagine it, both father and mother are very pious. And their children, how they would be. That is why in the Vedic system, there is always a system called Garbhadhan Sanskar. Actually, Sanskaras, Prabhupada glorifies it at every opportunity he gets. Wherever he gets opportunity, Prabhupada talks about Sanskars. And especially the Vivaha Sanskar. Everything starts with Vivaha. When a boy and girl, when they meet each other, on what basis they are uniting? Are they uniting based on sensitivation? Are they uniting on the basis of getting divine children? That is where everything starts. That is where the sanskar start. So Garbhadhana sanskar is actually impregnation based on a desire to get a very good child. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur also prayed to the Lord. He prayed to Vimala Devi. Oh Devi, please give me a child who can be the protector of dharma. You see, all the great saints, all the great personalities were born because their parents worshipped Vishnu, got blessings from sadhus for a good child. So as soon as a boy and a girl they get married, the only purpose of getting married is to get children, to get divine children. So constantly they should contemplate on what kind of child they are going to get. So the contemplation is on what kind of child they are going to get. There will be no contemplation of each other's physical beauty. Because the physical beauty is temporal. And that is not going to give any kind of good children. The children born out of lust, they will be also lusty, they will be also lust, from lust anger comes. So all kinds of horrible creatures come out. Animals only come out by the birth of children. when the child is born out of lust. Human child is not born, animals are born. So when a boy and girl gets married, the first thing should come to their mind is we should have a child. What kind of child? We should have the qualities. If they are like having a Kshatriya type mentality, we should have a child who is very charitable. We should have a child who is very well-versed, very powerful. He gives protection to others. We are thinking about the qualities of what kind of child we should have. Not that, I need to have a child who is an engineer or a doctor or something like that. No, qualities are important. So what is the use of having an engineer child who doesn't respect his parents? What is the use of a child being a big doctor but doesn't respect the parents? Doesn't have a good relationship with the brother or sister? What is the use of it? So the qualities. Then comes Garbhadana. So there is a sanskar called Garbhadana sanskar, in which there is a very clear-cut methodology of what are the rituals to be done, what are the tapasyas to be done, and then the impregnation happens. At the time, a divine child. So normally it happens because of the blessing of the elders, because of the blessing of the spiritual master, blessing of the Lord. Just imagine, Madhvacharya, his parents, Vedavati and Madhyageha Bhatta, both of them went all the way from Padaka Kshetra to Udupi, which is almost like 12 kilometers. They went by walk every day for 12 years. And for 12 years, they just took only milk, nothing else, to get a child. So, to get a divine child, it is only possible when the sanskars are proper, when there is blessing of the elders, and there is a blessing of Supreme Lord. So now, Dhruva Maharaj gave birth to such a great personality, Uttala. By birth itself, he was very peaceful, without any attachment, saw all beings as his own self. Nisangaha Samadarshinaha. Just imagine, many times we find children, we say, Bache, Manke, Sache, this is all nonsense. There's nothing like that. You find lust, anger, everything in there. Though they seem to be innocent and all, but they are born with some sanskars. If somebody has got the sanskar of Hiranyakashipu or Ravana, you may say, how can you say Manke, Sache and all? No. This is all only just to fool people. No. You find, if you give some thing to the child, and some other child comes and then tries to take it, the child cries and pleads and howls. Where is Manke Satya and all? No, you can find all the lust, anger, greed manifesting right from childhood only. If the child is divine, you find the child is actually Samadarshinaha, and you find all these qualities in the childhood itself. And Dadarshaloke Vidatam Atmanam Lokam Atmani. And most interestingly, this child was Uttala, right from birth itself. He was a great personality, he was very knowledgeable. He saw Tadarsha Loke Vitatam Atmanam Lokam Atmani. He saw the Lord pervading everything in this world. The whole world was with the Lord. Just imagine. He is just by birth. Nobody has taught him any knowledge. So what means what? We have a past birth. We bring lot of things from the previous birth. We bring all the spiritual realization from the previous birth. So here, Uttala was born to Dhruva Maharaj with all these very divine qualities. And more divine qualities are described in the 8th and the 9th verse. It says, Atmanam Brahma Nirvanam. He realized that the living entity, I am not this body, I am spirit soul. This realization he had right from birth. And not only that, he pratasya smitaha vigraham aspita vigraham. He has no aspita, no kind of any false knowledge. He had pure knowledge. And all was, he was abodha rasikatmyam. He was completely in bliss. Atmyam rasikaha. He was taking pleasure within himself. He was not dependent on any other object or any other person for having some pleasure, for his own bliss. Like you find a child, something happens, start crying. That means what? This Utkala was not even crying. Hunger, okay, no problem. Mother comes and feeds, well and good. Doesn't come and feed, doesn't well and good. Like that. So these are the divine qualities which Utkala had. That means Utkala's spiritual power was so much, the fire was so much, it had burned the all the karmic reactions, which at all, if at all, he had it. By birth itself, his devotion was so powerful that Basmasat Kuruti Arjuna, Jnanatmi Tattva Karmani, the Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita. By the fire of spiritual knowledge, the entire karmic reactions are burned. To such an extent, even his prarabdhas are burned. Generally, it so happens that when you are practicing some kind of karma yoga, all the karmic reactions are burnt except prarabdhas. But here, because of his one unpointed devotion of Supreme Lord, and his he being situated, his consciousness being situated in perfect spiritual realization, his even the prarabdha karmas were burnt. He was only existing because the body is there. That's all. Now comes the 10th verse. The subject matter of the 10th verse is the external behavior of his internal realization. So here Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, in the 3rd chapter, 17th verse, Yasyatmaritvasya Attattasya Manavaha Tasya Karyam Navidyate. He has no responsibility, he has no obligation to this world. Who doesn't have any obligation? A person who takes pleasure in self alone. He is not dependent on somebody else for the pleasure. Atma Triptasya Manava, even bodily requirements, he is not dependent on that. If somebody gives water, he drinks. Even though thirst is there, it doesn't affect him. He doesn't go and even try to drink a glass of water. I am thirsty, give water. No. Hunger comes, no. Somebody gives, well and good. No. No problem. He just accepts it. That's all. But for the sake of hunger, for the sake of thirst, for the tripti of hunger and thirst, he is not going to do any endeavor. Sarvarambha varityagi. Not only that, the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna also talks about the soul. He says that Yadrichaya Lavavantushto Dundvadito Matsaraha. So many verses are there in the Bhagavad Gita which describes about the self-realization, which talks about that how he is Yadrichaya Lavasantushto Dundvadito Vimatsaraha. Yadrichaya Lavasantushto means whatever comes on its own accord, you'll be happy with it. That is called Ajagara Pravrutti. Like you have a big Ajagar, python. So what does it do? It doesn't go and hunt anyone. It just keeps the mouth open. When somebody comes into the mouth, it just closes the mouth over. That means no endeavor even for the personal purpose. Like our Madhavendra Puri. He was sitting under one tree and he was chanting. And in the chanting, he just fell asleep. Lord Krishna came in the dreams and actually gave a glass of milk to him. So he asked, "Oh, why did you come?" Somebody sent it, so that's it. But though he was hungry for 3 days, he had not taken anything. He did not went for begging. A person on the platform of self-realization, he doesn't even go for begging. So that was the condition of Utkala here. And what was the external symptoms? The external symptoms were Jadananda. Jada means he was like a he was seeing as if he's not intelligent. Jada means actually fool. People were seeing as if he's foolish. And Anda means he was blind. And Badira, deaf. Unmatta, mad. Mukha, dumb. His appearance was like that. Utkala appeared like Jada, Anda, Bahira, Unmatta, Mukha. But at the same time, Atat, Matihi, Lakshitehi, but he was not so. Those who are Atatmatihi elakshitaihi prati balanam. Less intelligent perceived him like this. How they saw him foolish. So Krishna he has told very clearly in the Bhagavad Gita that the life of a spiritually advanced person, spiritual person, a middle person will exactly opposite. Yanisha Bhutanam Tasyam Jagrat Sayami Tasyam Jagrat Bhutani Sanisha Pashato Mune. So what is night for a spiritualist is a day for a materialistic person. What is day for a materialistic person is a night for a spiritualist. What is day for a spiritualist is a night for a materialistic person. And what is night for a spiritualist is a day for a materialistic person. So he has clearly told the life and the way you perceive things are exactly opposite. So when a less intelligent person calls you a fool, what does it mean? You should be very happy because he is less intelligent, and if he is perceiving you as a fool, that means you are an intelligent person. If an intelligent person says you are a fool, oh, then you should mind it. Because here, less intelligent people, Balanam, they thought, oh, Hare is a foolish person. And this is there in the experience of all the devotees. As soon as you take up Krishna consciousness, the first comment what you get from others that you are a fool. Until unless your friend, your relative, your father, your mother, or your brother, you're the closest person, until unless he tells or she tells that you are a fool, you cannot certify yourself to be a devotee. Actually, when the materialistic person call you a fool, you should be very happy. Now I'm advancing in devotions. They certificate. And more than that, when they say that you are mad, that's actually PhD. The certificate that how nice devotee you are, that whether other devotees give you or not, whether your spiritual master gives you or not, your own parents, your own brothers and sisters, your own husband or wife, they are not taken of Krishna consciousness, they will definitely tell you are a mad person. The whole world is there for you to enjoy. What are you doing? Having these beads in your hand and chanting 2 hours a day. What is this going on? Why don't you go to a movie? What are you doing going to a temple? Mad. So the moment you get these certificates, like you are a fool, you are mad, and you are blind. Blind means what? That you are not able to see the relationships of this world. You become totally blind towards us. Because the devotee is only interested in devotees. So he's not much worried about his parents, his own relatives, and all these people around him. So then they say, you're gone blind. They talk scriptures. They say, you're not talking something practical. You're talking something theoretical. What the scriptures? Do they have any proof or what? You have gone blind. Because you are believing something which is actually not reality. Whatever we see, that is truth. Whatever is not seen, that is untruth. So you are believing something which is not proved. Bhagavatham, who have seen God? So you are a blind person. Whereas the devotee is actually not blind. He is the person who is only seeing. One who actually sees that Naiva Kurgyanna Karyan sees the soul is not doing. Only the modes of its nature are doing. Only those modes that Nanya Gunebhya Kartar Vikadrishtana Pashyati. All the activities which are going on in this world is interaction of the modes. And the soul has nothing to do with it. And the soul has only something to do with Krishna. One who is able to see this, he is able to see Yaha Pashyati, Sa Pashyati. And Putramantakstam Vapi Runjana Managunamitam Vimudananu Pashyanti Pashyati. Mudananu Pashyanti is not able to see that death is imminent. So one who is not able to see death which is imminent, that person is Vimudha. But actually who is intelligent? Intelligent is one who is Vyavasayatmika Buddhir Yekeha Kurnanda Abhushaka Anantasya Buddhayo Vyavasayina. So in the Bhagavad Gita, clearly Krishna has talked about these two kinds of intelligence. The materialistic intelligence and spiritual intelligence. The materialistic intelligence is actually foolish. When they speak spiritual intelligence, they say you are gone, you are a fool. Because you are blind. You're not able to see things properly. Exactly opposite. Now, Bahira. Bahira means deaf. Now, deafness is spoken in the Bhagavad Gita, second chapter. Krishna, Itha devo kilam buddhi parishati tata gantasi nirvedam sotavya. Krishna says that nirveda, that means a devotee becomes flawless. He becomes totally indifferent to all the things spoken by people, which is deviating from Krishna consciousness. That is why when you are chanting Hare Krishna and you become a devotee, the others come and give you so many advices. All these days they are not giving any advice, they are not bothered about it. The moment you become a devotee, that is the time they show more concern for you. Oh, any problem in your life or what? Or something has happened for you. My advice is that they start giving you advices. But a devotee becomes completely callous towards it. It becomes deaf towards advices. Even though they may be very moral advices. These advices are coming from the scriptures, the Karma Kanda and Karma Shastras. The devotee's mind is totally fixed up in Krishna consciousness that he becomes totally deaf. Sotavya Hridayasya. Something which is heard or to be heard. He becomes totally indifferent to them. They say something, you say Hare Krishna. They say, they shout at you, you say Hare Krishna. They laugh at you, you say Hare Krishna. That's all. You're not listening to anything. You just start saying Hare Krishna to them, that's all. So that is how a devotee develops this indifference to what has been heard, what is going to be heard. And we have these things, Jada, Anga, Bahira, Unmakta, and Mukha. Mukha means dumb. They say, they ask you so many questions. They want to bring you to so many arguments. They laugh at you. Somehow or other, they try to agitate you so that you speak something. And you don't speak anything else. Just keep quiet or maximum Hare Krishna. That's all. So, a devotee becomes dumb. And then, by the akriti, with the appearance also, they say, you have got so much of wealth, why don't you wear good dresses? Why are you wearing this stupid sari? Why are you wearing just this some dhoti and kurta? Or why don't you wear something very nice? Why do what is that interesting? He's just wearing simple clothes. So his appearance is also as simple, and people see and then misunderstand a devotee. It is not easy to recognize a devotee. Even the demigods, they cannot recognize a devotee. Actually, there was a great king, Bharat Maharaj. The Prabhupada talks about Bharat Maharaj. He, in his third incarnation, first he is Bharata, and he attained such a great level of power. And because he had this thing that I want to perform devotional service alone, he had to fall down from his position. Of course, it is only apparent fall down. To show us that not to be so confident about your own devotional service. You had to do it along in the association of devotees. So Bharata, he had to take birth in the form of a deer. In the next life of a deer, he was always roaming around in the sadhus ashramas, and in the next life he became Jada Bharat. Now, Jada Bharat is described, the story of Jada Bharat is described in the 5th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. In the 5th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, it describes the characteristics of Bharat Maharaj. So, Bharat Maharaj was always, how was he? He was completely self-realized soul, and his description are like this. He behaved like a fool. His father wanted to teach him all the Vedic knowledge, but still he would say, I don't know anything. Though he was understanding everything, but externally he behaved as if nobody is, I'm not understanding. He did not even want to show that he's very learned. Bhaktivinoda Thakur, life also we find, was a very Simha Guru, great learned personality. So what happened was, when he was studying, he used to get top scores in his college. Now he's about to complete his graduation. At that time, he had a fear that if I prove to the world that I'm very qualified, then naturally many fathers of daughters, they will come and give their daughters to me in marriage. They'll force their father, no, I want to give my daughter to your son, please get it back. So if I show that I'm unqualified, then who will come and give their daughter to me? So better be unqualified, show that I'm an unqualified person. So he did not even complete his graduation. Not only that, he had this great devotee, great spiritual master, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur. So he used to chant at that time, the great Baba, Gaurkishore Das Baba. Many people used to come and disturb Babaji, give blessings, give blessings. So Gaurkishore Babaji Maharaj, he took a bhajan putti. That bhajan putti was an abandoned toilet. And there he used to sit and do bhajan. Anybody would be really thinking, oh, why I should go there? They feel a little bit awkward to go there. So from that time onwards, he was not disturbing bhajan. So sometimes the devotees, they behave in such a way that people would think that they are jada, they are andha, they are bahira, they are mad, they are mukha. Because by behaving in this way, people, they would avoid satsangatyaga, hey Vaishnava achar. If you want to avoid a satsanga, the best thing is to act as if you're foolish, act as if you're blind, act as if you're deaf, act as if you're mad, act as if you're dumb. So by acting so, naturally people think, what is this? Let him do whatever he wants. No use for us. Because a foolish person, blind person, deaf person, mad person, dumb person, they are useless for the society. So people are not bothered about it. Moment you find that I am having some money, I am very intelligent person, then naturally people will say, oh, very nice, come, be with us. We have something to do with you. We have a lot of benefit to achieve from you. So people will flock around you. So where will the bhajan happen? Bhajan cannot happen in the association, in the midst of all kinds of materialistic people. So Jada Bharat also did the same thing. He would behave a completely opposite way. Sometimes the father would say something, and he would repeat something else. Even he would not even learn Gayatri Mantra, Omkara, and all these way. Father was completely frustrated and told, get lost. And the brothers, they thought, anyhow, he is our brother. We don't want to give him the share. We'll make him take care of the fields. They let him in the fields alone, whole night as a chowkidar, as a watchman. Then he was whole day contemplating the Supreme Lord. Whole night he was contemplating the Supreme Lord. In this way, Jad Bharat also behaved in this way. Uh, uh, Jad Bharat's activities are described further in the fifth canto. After the father died, the stepbrothers of Jad Bharata, they considered Jad Bharata to be dull, brainless, and abundant. So, in this way, Jadabharat also behaved in the same way as Utkala was perceived. What to speak of Jadabharata and Utkala? Even Sukadeva Goswami, he was a beautiful personality when he was born. He was just as beautiful as a practical Krishna, just 14 years old, and he was running. He was just new, and all the people who were running behind him, thinking that he's a mad person. All the ladies, some children, they were all running behind him. As soon as he came to the Sabha, everybody waiting. Parikshit Maharaj was also waiting. And all the great personalities were waiting there when Sukadeva Goswami was going to come. As soon as Sukadeva Goswami came, all the great sages, they stood up and welcomed him, paid obeisance. Then all the people who were running behind these children were running behind Sukadeva Goswami. They thought, big offense. They all went. So, to recognize a great personality, it is only the work of a great person. Even King Rahugana also could not recognize Jadabharata. When Jadabharata started speaking, at this time Rahugana, he got down and he paid obeisances. So, a learned person, a devotee, is known only when he speaks. Don't go by the external features of a devotee. The external features, somebody may be seen so, but when you start speaking, that is the time when you understand the glory of a devotee. Of every person rather. Srila Prabhupada says that the speech is the most important quality. So man is recognized by the way he speaks. When a devotee speaks, that is the time when the whole world recognizes. But the external features, if you see, hey, a grown-up boy walking naked, is a madman or what? Is a foolish person or what? I think he's uncultured. People would say, looking at Sukadeva Goswami. But actually, when he starts speaking, even Vyasa was hearing. The great sages were hearing. So a person is recognized by his speech. A devotee is recognized by his speech. And Srila Prabhupada actually talks about advanced devotees, they actually try to avoid the materialistic association. And then he talks about two kinds of people, devotees, who are known as Bhajananandi and Goshtyanandi. So let us have a small talk about understanding about who is Bhajananandi and who is Goshtyanandi. Bhajananandi means who just takes pleasure in bhajan. He wants to be alone and then do bhajan. Of course, to do Nirjan bhajan, you need to be having taste in the holy name. Without being self-realized and having taste in the holy name. Nirjan bhajan is only just to attract some followers, just to attract some appreciation. So, Sri Bhaktivinoda Thakur and Raghunath Das Goswami has clearly condemned, Bhaktivinoda Thakur has clearly condemned in the Manasiksha, Raghunath Das Goswami, Vaishnava K. In all these scriptures, Sri Bhaktivinoda Thakur also commenting on them, he clearly told, this is to do Nirjana Bhajan. I just want to be alone. I don't want any association. Allah disturbing. I just want to chant alone. So this kind of thing, without attaining the qualification to do so, it is only a gimmick to attract few foolish people, foolish a cheap appreciation. So Bhajananandi can only be a person who is actually taste in the holy name. Once you develop taste in the holy name, then you can be a Bhajananandi. But Prabhupada explains that those who are Goshtyanandi means they take pleasure in doing bhajan among people. So what is the difference between Bhajananandi and Goshtyanandi? Goshtyanandi doesn't mean that one who is interested in Goshti. Actually is interested in bhajan, but he wants to share his bhajan with people. Bhajananandi does his own bhajan. A preacher who is Goshtyanandi, he does bhajan along with people. That's all. He is sharing his bhajan with few people. That is called a preacher. Preaching doesn't mean that you are not doing bhajan. Some people say, oh, why are you preaching? Must do bhajan. Or some people may think for themselves, I have preached, I just want to do bhajan. That means he has not preached at all. Preaching means actually you are sharing your bhajan with people. So there is no much difference between Goshtyanandi and Bhajananandi. A Bhajananandi does bhajan alone. Goshtyanandi does bhajan along with few people. That's all. But a Goshtyanandi has got an extra mile of compassion. Those who are not very much matured in bhajan, what he tries to do? He tries to explain to them about the bhajan, also involves them in the bhajan, and also he gets association from them by giving association to them. This is called a Goshtyanandi. Now, even a Goshtyanandi also, he is very careful because he is a preacher. He avoids those people who are envious. So, Srila Prabhupada clearly talks about a preacher or a Madhyamadikari should know the distinction between the Supreme Lord and the innocent living entities, the devotees, and the envious. For love only for Krishna. Priti is only for Krishna. Kripa, for those people who are innocent. They are not very pakka in bhajan. They are just trying to take up the Krishna consciousness. Compassion, because they naturally they do some mistake. They may show material tendencies also. But since they are innocent, you should show daya to them. Compassion. And for devotees, Maitri, friendship towards all devotees. Ultimately, for those who are envious, avoid. So how do you avoid? How do you avoid? By showing that you are foolish, you are unpleasant, etc. Even to the extent of great personalities like Rupa Goswami. When people came to him and said that you give me Vijay Patra, I have conquered you, I have become victorious. And then okay, take it. So they don't want to get into any argument. They know arguments are not going to lead to any conclusion. So they even avoid bad association, argumentative association, even the stakes of giving up their position of being victorious. They just give, okay, I have defeated, take it. So the devotee has to be conditioned in trying to discriminate whom to associate, whom to avoid. And great personalities, devotees, don't judge them by their external behavior. Vaishnava Kriya Mitra Vijnana Bhujiva. By our own intelligence, Vaishnava's activities cannot be judged. They can only be judged when they speak, express their love for Krishna. So this is what is the conclusion of this particular verse today. Any questions, please ask.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for beautiful class. Hare Krishna, is there any question or comment for Prabhuji that devotee have? They can go ahead.
Prabhuji, Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yeah, I'm like, yes.
Thank you for very nice class, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, you said, I mean, like in 40th verse, that was when first time Narada Muni talks about Prachetas, and then Maitreya Muni, I mean, Vidura asks to discuss more about Prachetas and all. And following that, the descendants, at that time, Dhruva Maharaj has already left. And then Narada Muni discusses that instant that Dhruva Maharaj left in the sacrificial arena of Prachetas, and he discusses about Dhruva Maharaj in front of Prachetas. But Prachetas comes later, they're in a kind of like they're descendants of Dhruva Maharaj, right? Dhruva Maharaj, after Dhruva Maharaj left, and then Anga, Veena, and then
It's all happened. It's all history. It's all history. It all happened later. See, this conversation between Vidura and Maitreya is going when? Just when Krishna had left the cat.
Yes, Prabhuji.
This is Vidura Maitreya Samvad. So, whatever has happened in the history, when the discussion goes on in the later part, what happens is the chronology is not given such importance. Chronology is only discussed whenever there is some philosophical point has to be made. Otherwise, chronology is not a important criteria in the scriptures.
Okay. Thank
You
you.
understood? See, Prachetas, when the Prachetas came, that is the time Narada spoke about Dhruva Maharaj.
Dhruva Maharaj, yes, sir.
Okay. Now this conversation happened. And then when the glorification of Dhruva Maharaj happened there, Vidura asked, I want to know about Prachetas. Isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Then Maitreya starts speaking about where he left out. Dhruva Maharaj's son, and then he goes on with Veena, and then comes to Prachetas.
So, I mean, the way it's written in Bhagavatham, when the 40th verse comes, it sounds as if like as soon as the Dhruva Maharaj left.
No, it is not like that.
Okay.
It is in the Prachetas, this thing was spoken.
Oh, okay.
It is not immediate.
Okay.
Sometimes, why the confusion is because many pastimes are described in the direct speech, as if it is going on now, present tense. But because the pastimes are eternal, and it has got very important significance, the eternal truth, sometimes they are spoken in present tense. Right? Man is mortal. It is not that somebody died and you are telling. It is a truth which is spoken in is, present tense.
Yes, sure.
Certain axiomatic truths are spoken like that, and certain great events are spoken also in present tense. Krishna's pastimes are spoken in present tense, and something which is beyond time, beyond measurement of time, they are also spoken in present tense. That is why it is very, very difficult to understand scriptures when you give prominence to chronology.
Okay.
That is the biggest confusion for Max Muller and the Western scholars. But for those who are trained in the Vedic culture, it is not a problem for them.
Well, actually, even most of the time, it does stay connected, right, Prabhuji? Like, even though these things are happening at different points of time, still, even chronologically, also, even if somebody wants to analyze, it does appear like it is happening in the right direction. It is in chronological order
Yes,
only.
it is there also, but many things are not also. That is why chronology is not a very important subject matter when you study the Vedic literatures. That is not the primary subject. For modern historians, that is the primary thing.
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavat
Krishna.
Pranam. A very, very wonderful class, Prabhuji. So you were telling about the point of how we need to be conscious of the fortune. Being fortunate is one thing, but then more important is how we use that fortune.
Yes.
How for example, the kids who are born in the devotee family, of course, they are fortunate to be getting all these things. But the trend is that they take, especially chanting, very lightly.
Yes.
And because they are used to all this, hearing all this, they want to try something new, try outside what the other people are doing. So, what can we do to, as parents? Of course, we also have to always be aware of the fortune that we got. This is Krishna consciousness,
Yes.
and how we can, try our best to make the kids conscious of their fortune.
Yes. It is a very important subject matter. Srila Prabhupada told the kids born in their movement, they are not ordinary. The first thing, they are not ordinary. Now, what has happened is that it is not the fault of the kids. It is our fault. We try to impose chanting on the kids. For the kids, what is thing is not chanting. If they are interested in chanting, 1 round, 2 rounds, they chant well and good. What is more important for any kid is, right from childhood, it is memorizing verses. We don't know the child psychology and try to impose whatever we heard for us to the children. No. What you have to do, they are very fortunate because they are taking prasad right from womb. When the mother is, when the parents are taken Krishna consciousness, even before they get married, on this day they are married. Right from whom they are taking prasad, they are not ordinary. So when they are born, even though they are born in a devotee family, first you should know they are children. So you should treat them as children, not like adults. So what are children like? It all has to be done. And for them, what it is to memorize verses. Chanting is not important for children. Actually, if you try to impose chanting, the more you impose something which they want, they will develop that much of hatred for that. And that will continue for a long time, even when they become adults. Whatever and how much ever they can chant the Hare Krishna mantra, let them do it. But make them study the scripture. Give them moral values, education, training. Chanting 16 rounds is for initiated devotees or those who want to take initiation. When they grow up to 16, 17, 18, that is the time encourage them to chant Hare Krishna mantra more and more. But till then, don't make them really chant Hare Krishna forcefully. That is the biggest mistake the parents do on the children. No. You make them memorize the whole first chapter of Bhagavad Gita. 108 verses is foreign verses of Bhagavad Gita. Give them some tasks, dramas. Make them work. You make them cook and ask them to offer to Krishna. Is it not devotional service? Is it only sitting and chanting Hare Krishna devotional service? Because in the age of, in the first 5 years, of course, it's only love. No question of expectation in spirituality. After 5 years, in the childhood, it is a kapha pradhana period. Kapha pradhana means, current Ayurveda, you know, kapha pitta vata. So mucus content is more. That is, the children get more tough and cold. So at that time, what is recommended is stuffing their consciousness with as much spiritual information as possible. Let them memorize all the prayers of Bhagavatam. Sing, learn art. You're actually preparing them. That is a time where they are preparing, equipping themselves for adulthood. Don't expect what the adults would do at their childhood. So one of the things is imposing them to chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra, sitting in one place and chanting, you do. Don't ask the child to do it, because the children are naturally chanchal. How can you ask them to sit in one place and chant Hare Krishna? Oh, make them do drama, learn dance and dance for Krishna. You go and ask them to buy sabji and cut the sabji. At the age of 8, my mother taught me to cook. She was out of the house. Is it not cooking for Krishna and offering devotional service? So that is the thing you are supposed to do. So it is a very complicated thing. But basically, though they are devoted children, they are children. We forget that. And we start expecting what an adult is supposed to do and what an adult is supposed to, in a way, adult is supposed to react. Sometimes it is not. It is our mistake. Of course, child care and all is a very big subject matter. Essentially, this is what I can speak. So for them, what is activity and memorization and quality, discipline. Concentrate on this.
Yeah, thank you so much, Prabhuji. That makes a lot of sense. Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. I wanted to ask the same question what Lalitangi Mataji asked. So you gave very nice answer. Thank you.
Prabhuji, one more question. For example, when the kids grow to be teens, they're going to high school, what I was wondering was, I mean, of course, we don't expect them to chant 16 rounds, but at least one round, if they can practice it. Like, they don't like to do the homework, but they're forced to do the homework at that age. They don't like to do some things, but in school they have to sit and do. So we are not forcing them, but we are also telling them that why it's important to chant, and the whole thing, the essence is to develop this attitude of taking shelter of Krishna's holy name. So in that sense, can we train them to chant 1 or 2 rounds? And of course, if some kids
willingly doing it, very nice. Chanting should be done willingly. If they are not doing it willingly, it is forcing them. When they are chanting, they are saying, just no. That thing should not be in the. If they are already 15 plus, Chanakya says after 15 years, the child is no more your child, is your friend. You can only be a friend. Till the age of 15, you can force them to do work for Krishna. But forcing them to do chanting, that is not going to help in any way. At the same thing you can say, why don't you memorize this verse? Tomorrow, Sunday this program is there, some festival is there, practice for drama. This way, activities. But in the way, if at all you want to really make them chant, out of your great affection for them, you ask them to come and sit next to you, you chant one round along with them. Because you see chanting, your Shraddha in the holy name, that will be transformed unto them. Don't tell, you are cooking, you are going to the office, you are going to sit and chant. No, don't do that. I have seen many people, when the children they reach the teenage, this advice has helped them a lot. You can really implement it. You sit with the children and chant. I'm telling you, it will make a lot of difference. What you want to do, don't tell. You make them sit next to you and do that. Okay, now beta, how much you can chant? One round with me? Okay, I'll do that. So by doing so, then your Shraddha in the holy name will be transformed onto them. That's one thing we can try out.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. We'll definitely do that.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Koti Dandavat Pranam to your seva. Thank you very much for this answer and especially lecture that the family members think that we are mad and we are not supporting when we start Krishna consciousness. After that also given a hard time. And one more thing, Prabhu, that in childhood up to 10 grade, kids are returning us and they are coming for Mangalati and then all the festivals. At least they are doing 7 to 8 rounds. But when we came in college, especially in abroad, I don't want to come in here because my daughter is 14 years and that is so many hormones change. So I just afraid that I don't want to go abroad. And probably they are not like to come in a temple or not like to chant. It is very painful for mother that from childhood it's given a sanskar and suddenly they stop coming temple. So thank you very much for giving a right, but still pray for that's all that they will again continue their service. Yes, they are chanting 1 or 2 rounds, but not coming in a temple, only for festival coming in a temple. So why it happen with kids, Prabhu? Dandavat Pranam, Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhu ki jai.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai. Very, very beautiful class, Prabhuji. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, I just wanted to confirm my understanding of what you were saying about why we should not be focused on having children chant. Because I do agree that they should not be forced, and I have kids, and I also did not force that. But is the reason why we should encourage like other activities, other devotional service? Is that because, were you saying that the reason is because the minds of children are too restless? My connection was not so good, so it was difficult to hear everything. So is that the reason that, okay.
Yes, not just only restless. I spoke about 2 things. One is the children should be engaged. Because that is a time when their pranamaya kosha is developing. We have heard about prana, kapha, then we have about annamaya, pranamaya, jnanamaya, vijnanamaya, anandamaya. 5 koshas are there, 5 coverings are there. Yeah. Childhood is basically about the development of pranamaya kosha, especially from the age of 5 till 12. You see, the children, if you say that bring 1 glass of water, there are 10 children. All the 10 children will run to bring 1 glass of water. So there's excessive energy, and that energy has to be engaged. This one point. The other point is, from the Ayurvedic point of view, the children basically till the age of 16, 17, they are kapha pradhana, kapha. And kapha is the thing which absorbs. It is not the thing which actually reacts, it absorbs. So there you actually more and more memory. Just make them memorize. Memorize, like in the childhood, in the traditional Gurukul, what the children used to do, just memorize. If you just ask them to start for continuously 4 hours, they will chant verses without looking at a book. So, from the Vedic psychology point of view and Ayurvedic point of view, activity and memory. To nourish these two things, you require discipline, that is training. So discipline comes from being moral values, showing some strictness, sometimes looseness, sometimes love, this part of it. And one is activity to keep the pranas engaged. Otherwise they'll feel bored. Like sometimes we find children are so active, they're very inquisitive. If their parents think, oh, keep quiet, sit down, sit and chant. That means it is actually you don't want them to chant. You want to get rid of their energies which is bonding onto you. But that is crime onto them. You have to be with them. The mothers have to be with the children. And then engage them in activities. So if the activity is not there, and the memory part is not there, to nourish both of that, you have to have the training, the moral training, the discipline. And that comes by the mother's love as well as strictness. The child should be loving the mother, at the same time should have fear of the mother. So it's a art. It's not a easy thing. Because you are growing a child. Growing a child is the most important thing for the family. It's more important than giving lecture for 1,000 people outside. So this is what. From the technical point of view, these two. That is the age where pranamaya kosha is developing. That is the age of kapha pradhana.
Yeah, okay. Prana kosha, you said that's the, which covering is that?
Second.
And the prana means life. Prana means life air, right?
Yeah. You can kind of hear it. Pranamaya kosha is not just air, it is energies from the prana. And, the increase of energies from the prana. Prana is the main value.
But this covering, this prana kosha, how would you translate that? This kosha is
kosha, K-O-S-H-A, kosha. First is annamaya kosha, then pranamaya kosha, then comes jnanamaya kosha. Then in jnanamaya kosha, they become very inquisitive. They are inquisitive. Until unless you give a reason for it, they will not do. When they come to 13, 14, you have to give them a reason for that. So that is the time you have to answer every question very nicely. Without getting any bored or showing any anger, frustration, even the most silly question. When the boy is 8 or 9 years old, you tell the boy, offer, he comes and offers a lot, and whatever you say, he does. Or when he comes to 13, why should we ring the bell? You have to answer it. Because till that time, he will not ask question. When he comes to 12 or 13, that is the time he starts asking. Now, when he is about 20 or 25, at the time, he is trying to relate what he has learned in the life experiences. Give an opportunity for that. So when he is around 40, 45, then comes the Anandamaya kosha.
Yes, but the prana, but the prana kosha, you explain what the effect of jnana kosha is, what that means, but prana kosha means that's the stage where the child is What is being developed at the prana kosha stage?
There are 5 coverings of the body: Annamaya, Pranamaya, Jnanamaya, Vijnanamaya, Anandamaya. 5 coverings.
Yes.
In that, the prana kosha, which is the active part of the body.
Okay.
One is the physical part of the body. Other is what makes the physique move, go here, go run. Sometimes you say, why are you so morose? So what is the thing which makes the person very active? It is the pranamaya kosha.
Mm-hmm.
And generally, the case they do for love means it is your pranas actually become more active when you see a person whom you love. So because of the love for the mother, the father, the children, they just do. They want to please them. Even a small drawing they do come and show. How is it? How is it? If the mother doesn't say, hey, look, I'll see later, then gone. Then there will be no growth for the child.
Okay, Prabhu. All right, thank you so much.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Dandavat Pranam. Hare Krishna.
So can we close here?
Krishna Prabhuji, thank you so much for the beautiful class once again. Thank you all the devotees for joining. If there are no more questions, we would like to end the call here by reciting Vanchakalpa. Vanchakalpatarobhyasya kripa sindhubhya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Anantakoti Vaishnavindi ki jai, Namacharya Shri Krishna ki jai, H.G.Kamal Lochan Prabhuji ki jai. Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. They will not expect any answer from you. So you have to open the mouth and answer before you are answering.